Hi. Today we'll be talking about sitting for a long time. Now it has come to realize that the sitting for a long time by any individual is very hazardous to our health, just like smoking, or sometimes worse than smoking. Nowadays, because of the change in lifestyle and after coming of mobile phones, televisions, and a new style of living, new lifestyle has created a lot of opportunities for us to sit and enjoy, whether while driving or sitting in a car going to the office, and while sitting in the office and working and coming back and sitting in a bar or in a pub or say in a restaurant, then coming back, then again watching TV, sitting in front of a TV, then also looking at your mobile phone, watching your mobile phone and working on that, or working in front of a laptop or a computer at home. So all these activities are occupying most of our daily routine nowadays. So the medical scientists, they have discovered that sitting all the time is creating a lot of health hazards for us. So today we'll talk about that. Now, sitting for a long time, is it worse than smoking? That is what the question has come up. Okay. Now, the British Medical Journal of Sports Medicine, British Journal of Sports Medicine has found out that sitting for 1 hour, it reduces the lifespan by 22 minutes, while taking one cigarette will reduce 11 minutes from the lifespan. That means what? The reduction of lifespan by sitting for long hours is even worse than smoking. Now, the Diabetologica, that is another journal of European Association of Study of Diabetes, has found out that 112% there is increase in diabetes chances, and 147% there is increase in the death from CV accidents, that is cardiovascular accidents, okay, like strokes. Then there is say 90% increase in death from cardiovascular diseases, and 49% chances of increase in death from any cause. So this is what has been published in the Diabetologica. There is a journal of European Association for Study of Diabetes. Now, sitting is again linked to a lot of negative impacts on health, like smoking. So it produces obesity, that is being very fat and overweight. Then backache. And a backache is a problem. When you're sitting for a long time, problem in the back, it really comes up. Then dementia, like this loss of memory, and even depression and muscle degeneration. So muscle degeneration occurs because the muscles are not being used. That is why. The muscles gets its energy and its strength from working. So our muscles are meant to be working, then they become stronger. If we don't use our muscles, it becomes degenerated. And as you know, if we don't use it properly, for every 1 decade, there is 10% loss of mass of the muscles from our body starting from adulthood. Okay, so this is the problem that we are facing nowadays. Now, the American Medical Association in 2013, they have adopted a new policy, that is to encourage standing in the workplace. So the American Medical Association have encouraged standing in the workplace, because standing is creating some muscle work as compared to sitting. So just sitting on the desk and doing job, it's better to stand sometimes working on your computer, and maybe say sitting around and talking in a amongst each other in a meeting or board meeting or organizational meeting or anything of that sort. So it has come to realize that sitting is worse. The condition of sitting, the effect of sitting on our health is very hazardous. So it is better to stand and work. Now, sitting for more than 4 hours reduces the metabolic rate. Then also it disrupts the blood glucose level and increases the insulin level in blood, and also increases blood pressure. Then leg muscles are switched off, like switching off situation. That means our muscles are no longer working in the legs. So the leg muscles become weaker. So this is a very critical situation where we need to look into. So sitting more than 4 hours is quite hazardous. Then if we sit for more than 6 hours, there are more than 20% of men have got likely to die prematurely. Like in case of women, about 40% and more women have got increased chance of dying prematurely. So sitting for more than 6 hours is also very dangerous. And if you're sitting more than 7 hours in a day, especially in women, it causes a lot of mental and emotional problems like depression. So you see, it is a very hazardous situation, sitting all the time in the desk and working. Then there has been a certain postulation by certain medical organizations in the European countries, especially in America and other European countries, that a new encouragement of working, physical working in the environment of the office, in a corporate environment, has been encouraged. Now there are some 4 changes that we need to do. The first change is about corporate attitudes and cultures. Like say if you're working in a corporate sector or even in a private sector, if you are sitting in your desk, or say even in a government sector also, if you're sitting on a desk, people will think that you're working. Also, okay, this guy is working, like that. But if you are away from your desk, if you are not found on your desk, people will say that, oh, he's not working, means you are slacking on your work. That has been the attitude. Now, this is about the corporate attitude which needs to be changed. Then regarding the individual attitudes, so for example, individual habits, like say, instead of sending one email to a person of your or your colleague who is just sitting one floor down, or say a few tables away from you, or maybe a few rooms away from you, then it's better to walk down to him and talk personally, and that will you can get your result of your discussion immediately, instead of waiting for the email, and at the same time it gives some work to your muscles. So it's better that we walk. Now another thing is about when you are working in an environment like in a setup in the office, instead of going into a lift and going up and down in floors, it's better to walk. So if you are having a choice of lift or a stair, it's better to take a stair. That's what it is. Then organizational attitude also has to be changed. For example, the HR people, like human resources people, they need to look into this, that whether these employees are working out or doing physical activities, and does not sit for more than 90 minutes at a time in the desk. This is beneficial both for the corporate and also for the individual. For individual, it increases the the effectiveness of a person working. Then at the same time, because he's no longer dull if he keeps on moving, and he will become healthier. At the same time, the health conditions which will lead to a loss of work days by taking leaves will be reduced. So this will be beneficial to the corporate sector also. So naturally, it is beneficial for both sides, the employee and the employers. Then there is some changes which needs to be put in the physically in the workplace, like say putting up a gym, or say instead of sitting all the time, keeping some workstations where you can work by standing, or sometimes a sit and stand adjustable decks, like where you're working. The decks can be increased in its height and again reduced in the height, so that you can either sit or stand. At the same time, some places where you can hold meetings, especially standing. Then some free places where you can you can walk around. Some spaces needs to be put. At the same time, keeping up a gym also. These are some changes which needs to be put into a corporate setting. So basically, inactivity in any way is harmful to our body and our muscles. The strength of the muscles are the strength of our body, and the muscle, when it works, it also increases the strength of the bones and the joints. So it keeps us healthy and mobile, and it will keep us out from the heart disease, and then increase in blood pressure, then chances of development of diabetes are always kept away. So it's better to walk in this way. Say every time you need to do some physical activity, that is the best way to do. Then also at the same time, you have to change some of your habits, like smoking, then avoid smoking, then avoid sitting all the time, then taking a lot of junk foods in the office, then even taking a lot of teas and coffees in the office. All these things need to be changed a little. And for myself, today I will be telling you how to do some workout when you are sitting in your desk. For example, if you are sitting on a desk like what I am doing right now, you can just put your hand on your desk and do some push-ups. You can do some push-ups slowly, on the desk. At the same time, you can do just stand squatting by putting your hand on your desk. At the same time, you can use your chair to do some push-ups on the arm of your chair, armrest of your chair. You can do some push-ups. Then if you have got a stool by your side, like what I'm having here, I can do a little bit of push-ups like this. Okay. And at the same time, I can turn around and walk around my chair, and I can do a little bit of squatting behind the chair. I can move around the chair and play a little along with my chair, and move my legs. I can just put up my legs and down. I can put up, down like this, And when you are walking, you can do the same thing, this movement of putting up and down of your legs. So these are the few tips I want to give you for today. And As far as practicable, try to move. As far as practicable, whenever you are on your work table, just try to move around. At least you should not stay stable and quiet for more than 90 minutes, or say for that matter 1 hour. Better to move around a little. Or you can keep on doing something like this on your desk, on your chair, and you can keep on moving. And especially when you are working on your table, it's better to avoid sitting bending forward, or say cramped in one position, fixed in one position. Better to sit straight with your back, and you can keep your hands on your decks, and with your back straight you can keep on working. So back problem is also a big problem, backache and all. So we need to avoid all these things. So friends, this much I learned from my research works, and this I wanted to share with you, and this is what I have been doing whenever I am moving in my office and working on my desk for a long time. Okay, so this much for today, and keep on watching my channels, and keep on looking out for my new videos. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Bye bye.